Join ABF Fam in Apple Podcast to listen to African Folktales with Miss Jojo 1 week early before everyone else.
Hello, children. I'm Miss Jojo's Auntie Oni from the United States, and I'm so happy to meet you. Today we're going to be listening to one of my world-famous stories. Hop inside the magical Jeep with me as we explore the lands where animals talk and people fly. Are you ready? Get in. Make sure your seatbelt is on. The only thing we want to let loose is your imagination. Let's set the destination for our next story. Here we go. Hang on. Why Spiders Live on the Ceiling, an Anansi story, retold by Auntie Oni. One bright and sunny day, King Lion made a big announcement. He wanted to find out who was the smartest, the wisest, and the cleverest in all the animal kingdom. Of course, Anansi the spider stepped up right away, and he bragged and he boasted loudly to everyone that he was the smartest, he was the wisest, and that he was the cleverest in all the village. Sister Mockingbird was sitting up in the tree, and she looked down and she called Anansi out. Anansi, sometimes you may be smart, sometimes you may be wise, and sometimes you may be clever. But Anansi, you cannot fly. Only birds can fly. Anansi screwed up his face and kissed his teeth. I will show you. If I try, I can fly just as high as you and all of them birds. Anansi scattered over to his feathered friends, begging to borrow some of their feathers. Please, may I have some feathers from you, Miss Coquerico? Please, may I have some feathers from you, Mr. Parrot? Please, may I have some feathers from you, Miss Hummingbird? Thank you, one and all. Anansi's bird friends gave him plenty of feathers, for they all really wanted to see if Anansi was smart, wise, and clever enough to fly all day long like a bird. Anansi spun his web around a rubber tree, and his 8 legs, he stuck it into the rubber tree, and he dug holes and squeezed out the rubber glue. It was really sticky. Anansi patted down the rubber glue on his legs. He patted the glue on his tummy, his back, and then he pressed all the feathers down into the sticky glue. Anansi was ready to fly. King Lion called all the animals closer together. Come to see Anansi fly. Oh, everyone gathered around to see if Anansi could really and truly fly. Miss Armadillo, Mr. Agouti, Brother Manaku, Brother Porcupine, Sister Mongoose, Brother Bear, Sister Piggy, Brother Monkey, just to name a few. All the animals couldn't wait to see if Anansi was smart, wise, and clever enough to fly in the sky all day long like a bird. Sister Mockingbird shouted, "Look up in the sky! It's a bird! It's a plane! No, it's Anansi!" Anansi was flying high in the sky. Whee! Whee! See me here! See me here! Whee! See me! See me! All of a sudden, Brother Eagle flew next to Anansi. "Anansi, why you doing up here so high in the sky, man? You think you can fly as high as me?" Anansi looked quickly at Brother Eagle. "Sure, why not? See me here?" Brother Eagle laughed. "Come on, Anansi. Come, let we fly higher and higher and higher." Anansi took the dare, and he flew higher and higher and higher next to Brother Eagle until they reached the sun. The sun was shining really, really hot that day. So hot, the sun melted the rubber glue sticking to Anansi. The glue was melting and all the feathers began to fall off of Anansi, and he fell down, and all the animals were looking up and pointing and laughing at Anansi. Anansi landed on the soft palm leaf roof of a house. He was so ashamed, so embarrassed. He had bragged and boasted about how he could fly all day long like a bird. Anansi soon realized he was not the smartest. He was not the cleverest or wisest in the kingdom after all. Because if he was, he would have been smart, wise, and clever enough to know not to fly so close to the hot sun with all those fake feathers. The animals' laughter loudly filled the air. Anansi, see him there. Anansi is a puppy show. Anansi quietly scampered down off the roof of the house into the open window. He hid in the corner of the ceiling. Anansi thought to himself, he should be happy to be who he was, a spider, and not a bird. And that is why, to this very day, Anansi and all of his family live high up in the ceilings in houses all around the world. Now, my friends, you can tell this story too, but mind how you chat, because this story is not the end of that. Thanks for taking this trip with Auntie Oni today. I can't wait for you to travel to the next story with me.
African Folktales is produced by ABF Creative. To learn more about the show, go to abfc.co/folktales. If you loved this show, then tell someone you know. Our magical Jeep journeys are more fun when you can bring your friends along. Thanks for listening.
Bye-bye.